Am I the bad guy for stepping in to do mom things for my niece because my SIL is disabled? New update. I want to share a story about my niece, Gigi, who is 10 years old and the daughter of my brother Chris and his wife Anna. Life took a challenging turn for their family when Anna became disabled due to an infection when Gigi was just 4 years old. This sudden change meant that Anna, who had always been the heart of their home, had to quit her job and could no longer participate in Gigi's school and extracurricular activities as she once did. The family faced not only emotional challenges, but also financial ones, as Anna's absence from work impacted their income. I've always tried to help out as much as I can. I would pick Gigi up from school, drive her to dance practice, and attend school events whenever Chris was busy. My husband and I even took Gigi to Disneyland last summer, which was a wonderful experience for all of us. I only step in when asked and within the limits of my own schedule, as I have my own child to care for. My goal has always been to support Gigi and ensure she doesn't miss out on experiences because of her mother's situation. Recently, Gigi's school organized a Christmas market, and she wanted to set up a booth with her friends. Given that Chris was swamped with work during the holiday season, Gigi asked me to help out. I confirmed with Chris, who was enthusiastic about my involvement, especially since it involved crafts, something he didn't have time for. So I invited Gigi and her friends over to my house to work on the booth together. We even planned to make costumes for the event, and Gigi seemed genuinely excited. However, things took a turn when Anna called me one Friday, expressing her frustration. She was upset that I was getting involved in what she considered mom duties. Anna insisted that Chris building the booth was sufficient, and that I should have stayed out of it. I explained that Gigi had asked me for help, and I wanted to ensure she had the opportunity to participate fully. Anna countered that Gigi needed to learn to cope with her reality, which included not having her mother present for everything. This conversation left me feeling conflicted. I had always thought of my involvement as a way to support Gigi, to help her have experiences that might otherwise be unavailable to her. I had taken Gigi to birthday parties and dance competitions where she felt uncomfortable being the only child without an adult female to help her. I believed that stepping in was beneficial for Gigi, but Anna's perspective made me question my role. After our conversation, I told Anna that I would honor my commitment to Gigi and the other parents for the booth, but I was open to stepping back in the future if that's what they wanted. I felt a mix of sadness and frustration, and I'm not trying to replace Anna. I simply want Gigi to feel supported and included. My own mother believed that Anna was being unfair to Gigi, but I also recognized that many children grow up without parents attending every event. Perhaps I was being overbearing, and maybe I had crossed a line. I wanted to help, but I didn't want to overstep. In response to some questions I received, I clarified that the craft session was at my house because another girl's mother had asked if I could host, given the limited space in their home. I also explained that driving Anna to events wasn't feasible, since Chris needed his car for work, and I couldn't use mine for that purpose. 10 days later, I received an update. Chris and Anna came over to discuss everything. Chris had always kept Anna informed about my involvement with Gigi, and it was clear that there had been some misunderstandings. Through our conversation, we aimed to find a balance that respected Anna's role as Gigi's mother, while also ensuring that Gigi felt supported by her extended family. This experience has taught me a lot about family dynamics and the importance of communication. I hope to navigate this situation with care, ensuring that Gigi knows she is loved and supported, while respecting Anna's wishes as her mother. Family can be complicated, but I believe that with understanding and open dialogue, we can find a way to support each other. I want to share a story about my experience stepping in to help my niece, Gigi, while navigating the complexities of family dynamics. My sister-in-law, Anna, has a disability that makes certain aspects of parenting more challenging for her. I initially thought I could help without overstepping boundaries, but things quickly became more complicated. A few weeks ago, Anna discovered some entries in Gigi's journal that left her feeling hurt. Gigi, like many kids, had expressed her feelings about her situation, and it was tough for Anna to read. To connect with Gigi, Anna had been checking her journal regularly, which she later realized was not the right approach. After reflecting on this, she decided to stop and agreed with Chris, her husband, to inform Gigi's school counselor about her emotional struggles. In addition to this, Anna had been inspired by a woman in an online community who advocated for ensuring that children with disabilities only participate in activities that are fully accessible. Anna attempted to discuss this idea with Chris, but he didn't fully grasp her perspective. This miscommunication led Anna to feel unheard, prompting her to reach out to me for support. As the conversation unfolded, it became clear that Anna wanted to move closer to her family for support, but Chris was against it. He cited financial concerns, job stability, and the quality of education in their current location as reasons to stay put. Anna felt hurt by his refusal, believing that my presence was a significant factor in his decision. This misunderstanding led to tension between them, and I found myself caught in the middle. I reassured Anna that my intention was not to be a role model for Gigi, but to ensure she didn't miss out on important childhood experiences. I emphasized that I wouldn't force my help on them unless both parents agreed. It was evident that the core of the issue lay in their marriage, and I encouraged them to resolve their differences privately. To ease their burden, I decided to focus on practical support. I offered to help with grocery shopping and suggested that Chris might benefit from a financial audit to alleviate some of their stress. My husband and I even considered giving Chris a gas card for Christmas to help with expenses. I wanted to be supportive without being overbearing, and I was open to suggestions on how to help without intruding. As the new year approached, I made the decision to step back from some of my involvement in Gigi's extracurricular activities. I would still handle drop-offs and pickups, but would refrain from taking on the role of a dance mom or hosting playdates. My hope was that by lightening Chris's load, he could take on more of those responsibilities and ensure Gigi had a fulfilling childhood. Fast forward to early December, and things took a turn. Chris experienced a health scare that left him needing time off work. During this period, Gigi stayed with us for stability, and I helped with her school routine. It was a challenging time for everyone, but I was glad to be there for Gigi. As the year progressed, I received messages asking for updates, and I felt it was time to share the latest developments. Chris and Anna ultimately decided to separate, and Anna chose to move back to her family's area. It was a difficult decision, but one that seemed necessary given the circumstances. Through this journey, I learned that family dynamics can be incredibly complex, especially when disabilities and personal struggles are involved. I genuinely want the best for everyone and hope that Anna and Chris can find a path forward that works for them and for Gigi. It's a reminder that while we may want to help, it's essential to respect boundaries and prioritize open communication within families. It was the day after Christmas when everything began to unravel. My sister-in-law, Anna, was struggling with her own challenges, and her daughter, Gigi, was caught in the middle. Anna has a disability that makes it difficult for her to manage daily life, and with her husband, Chris, also facing health issues, the stress was palpable. As the days passed, the tension in their home grew. Gigi, a sweet little girl, was feeling the weight of her parents' struggles. She was stuck at home while her friends were out enjoying their winter break, and it all became too much for her. One day, things escalated into a big fight between Gigi and Anna. When Chris returned home, Gigi, overwhelmed and frustrated, declared that she was done and wanted out of the situation. Now Chris and Anna are trying to navigate a financial mess, which has led them to the difficult decision to sell their house. They hope it will fetch enough to clear some of their debts. In the meantime, Chris and Gigi are staying in our guest house while he gets back on his feet. I genuinely want him to stay until he can save enough to buy a new home, but ultimately, that decision is up to him. Gigi is currently living with us, and I can see the toll this situation is taking on her. She's withdrawn and blames herself for her mother leaving. It breaks my heart to see her carry such a heavy burden at such a young age. I wish I could tell her that the issues between her parents were complicated and existed long before her fight with Anna. But how do you explain that to a child? Chris visits Gigi every day after work, and they share dinner together. I can tell he's trying his best to support her, but he's also preoccupied with the logistics of selling the house and dealing with legal matters. It's a lot for anyone to handle, especially when you're trying to be a good parent. I've suggested to Chris that Gigi might benefit from therapy, but he's unsure of what kind of specialist to look for. Should it be someone who specializes in parental abandonment, or perhaps in helping preteens deal with resentment? Gigi, however, is adamant that she doesn't want to see a therapist, which complicates things even further. I find myself feeling helpless, wanting to support Gigi through this upheaval, but not knowing how to reach her. I want her to understand that none of this is her fault, but the right words seem to elude me. Chris is doing his best, but I worry that Gigi needs more than just our love and support right now. If anyone has advice on how we can better help Gigi through this challenging time, I would greatly appreciate it. It's messy, as life often is, and I just want to ensure that Gigi feels safe and loved during this turbulent period.